For many people, February 14, 2019 was a day to celebrate love. However, for the aviation industry, this day was a major turning point. Airbus announced that it was planning to end production of the iconic A380 Super Jumbo. In the years that followed, many airlines also announced plans to retire the Super Jumbos from service. However, for Emirates, the A380 is still part of its plan for the foreseeable future. This is after the airline announced future plans for the aircraft that are set to send the competition back to the drawing board. Stay tuned. In 1988, a team of engineers at European aerospace companies came together with one aim: to plan how to develop an ultra-high-capacity airliner. This move was a response to Boeing's groundbreaking innovation that saw the development of the first 747 in 1969. Boeing's dominance with the 747 meant that European companies were completely outshined in this market. A European aircraft that would go toe-to-toe with the 747 was not just a need, it was a want, an issue of pride for many in Europe. Fast forward in 2007, almost 2 decades after planning and development work started, the first ultra-high-capacity airliner developed in Europe was delivered to its launch customer. The airliner would come to be famously known as the Airbus A380. It would quickly become a passenger favorite, with many putting it in their travel experience bucket list. However, there was a problem. Airbus was selling the plane to airlines, not to passengers. No matter how much passengers loved this behemoth of an airliner, many airlines did not see it fitting in their operation model. For starters, the per-flight mile operating cost of an A380 is in the region of $26,000 to $29,000. Also, its sheer size, which is more than 5,382 square feet, meant that many airports needed to do substantial infrastructure modifications, including making the runways wider and longer, reinforcing taxiways, and installing larger boarding gates. Of course, not all airports wanted or could afford to do all this to these. As a result, only 140 airports worldwide have the capacity to accommodate the A380. The A380's 4-engine configuration also meant that the plane was a fuel guzzler. To make matters worse, 3 years after the launch of the program, Boeing launched the 787 with the GEnx engines, and Rolls-Royce shortly matched that. These engines had about 12% better fuel consumption than those powering the A380, further making it hard for the king of the skies to break into the market. The result? An underwhelming performance of the A380 in the market, as many airlines shied away from adding it to their fleets. By the time Airbus was announcing plans to end production of the A380, only 251 firm orders had been made by as little as 14 customers. However, as airlines globally chose to stay clear off the A380, one airline saw the aircraft as the best fit for its operational model. In fact, the airline ended up taking ownership of almost 50% of the A380s ever made. The airline is none other than Emirates. Now, Emirates has made it clear that the A380 might form a significant part of its fleet for some more years, thanks to the plans it has for the plane. So what plans does Emirates have for the A380? Many aviation enthusiasts were keen to see what Emirates would do after Airbus announced plans to pull the plug on the production of the A380. Being the largest operator of the King of the Skies, Emirates' decision would have immense effects on the aviation industry. Would the airline choose to stick with the aircraft, or would it scrap it as other airlines were doing in favor of smaller and more fuel-efficient wide-body jets? After months of waiting and speculation, Emirates seemingly dropped several hints on its decision in November of 2023 during the Dubai Air Show. The first and most significant hint came from the airline's president, Tim Clark, who was quoted saying, "The A380 has been and will continue to be very much part of the Emirates story. The A380 will remain core to our network and customer proposition for the next decade, and we want to ensure our fleet is in tip-top shape." But true to Clark's word, the airline seemingly doubled down by signing agreements worth over $1.5 billion with multiple providers and partners to deliver high-quality aviation, aftermarket, and maintenance, repair, and overhaul services. It is the details of these agreements that drop more hints on Emirates' plans for the A380. For instance, the agreement with the American conglomerate Honeywell saw the two companies sign a decade-long deal for Honeywell to provide Emirates with wheels and carbon brakes for the fleet of 116 A380s. The advanced wheel and braking designs by Honeywell are known for saving weight, reducing maintenance costs, and helping extend the overall lifespan of the braking system. On the other hand, Emirates signed a long-term agreement with Collins Aerospace to upgrade 107 twin Super Jumbos with the company's latest GLU-2100 multi-mode receiver. This multi-mode receiver is designed to ensure the integrity of aircraft positioning, velocity, as well as timing reference. It also shows availability of aircraft in low visibility conditions. Emirates did not stop at that. The airline also signed an exclusive agreement with the French aerospace company, Safran, for the provision of its A380 nose landing gear. Emirates also awarded another contract to Safran for the upgrade of the A380 seats. Stay tuned as we will talk more about that part of the agreement in detail. In yet another decade-long agreement, Emirates contracted Pratt & Whitney to maintain and support the airline's 116 PW980 auxiliary power units on the A380 fleet. Lufthansa Technik was contracted to provide base maintenance services for the A380s. It will also be responsible for providing additional extensive maintenance checks, or C-checks, for the aircraft's components, systems, and structures for the next 3 years. Lufthansa Technik also secured an agreement for the future overhauls of the main landing gear for the A380s. Another agreement for C-checks was with the China-based Gameco. And now, in May 2024, Emirates shocked the aviation world after an announcement that erased all uncertainties about the future of the A380. This is after the airline announced plans to retrofit an additional 43 A380s as part of the Phoenix project, a program that involves a thorough and extensive refurbishment of the A380s in Emirates aircraft. This announcement came on the heels of another successful program that saw 22 A380 refurbished. Clark said that this move demonstrated a clear commitment to elevating the customer experience with a best-in-class suite of products across every cabin. Perhaps one of the most notable developments in this program is the introduction of a new premium economy in the A380. With this new product, Emirates is set to redefine traveling in the A380. Travelers that have experienced the new premium economy seats have nothing but praise for the new seats. The way the seat starts with a generous recline of 8 inches that ensures that one can travel long haul without hurting their back. This is then coupled with a 40-inch pitch, a whopping 6 inches more than what you find in regular economy. That pitch is also more than enough for the passenger behind to have their meal when the seat is fully tilted back. Emirates went further and added a separate bar-style footrest and a padded calf rest that pops up at the front of the seat to add on to travelers' comfort. The winged leather headrest can be adjusted in 6 different ways, a stark difference from the side adjustments in the regular economy. Emirates has also installed wider at 19.5 inches compared to 18 inches in regular economy. The layout in the new product is also different, with the airline going for a 242-seat layout compared to the 343 layout that passengers are used to in regular economy. With this layout, the A380 will be accommodating 56 premium economy passengers. Moving on to the tray table, Emirates has installed a larger one in the premium economy, measuring 16 inches wide and 10 inches long, sizable enough to fit most of the laptops. There is also a side cocktail table to ensure you do not mix work with fun. For window shades, passengers will enjoy a better aesthetic as it has a wood grain paneling, unlike plastic in regular economy. These shades are also electronic, meaning that you can operate them at the push of a button, unlike in regular economy where they are operated manually. Emirates is leaving no area untouched with the A380 after it was clear that it will enhance internet connectivity by retrofitting the Super Jumbos with Airbus's new HBC Plus supplier-furnished K-band satellite-based in-flight connectivity solution. Speaking about this development, a spokesperson from Emirates said, "We are eager to enhance the onboard internet experience for our passengers and are working with Airbus to expedite these retrofits as soon as possible." Now, this move will make traveling in an Emirates A380 a more enjoyable experience, as it means that these aircraft will no longer be sporting a lower bandwidth connectivity service that has primarily been conducive to cockpit communications, safety services, and tracking of flights. The new feature by Airbus will be designed to power high-speed internet on travelers' devices. Currently, Emirates offers this product to 16 cities across the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, India, Japan, and Brazil. It will also start offering premium economy to Geneva from August 11th, Tokyo Haneda from the 1st of September, and Brussels from the 11th of September. Emirates' route plan for the A380 also shows that the king of the skies is slowly coming back and will be here for longer. Not so long ago, Emirates had scheduled to start flying the A380 into some routes later in the year. Now, plans seems to have changed, and the airline has either already started flying the the A380 to these routes, increased the frequency, or shifted the start dates closer than anticipated. Perhaps the most interesting case is that of Dubai, Washington, Dulles. According to Emirates reports, the A380 was supposed to start plying that route on the 1st of October 2024. Later, it was announced that the A380 would start coming to Dulles much earlier, with the first flight coming in on 31st March 2024. Other routes that have seen changes that point toward an increased utilization of the A380 by Emirates include Dubai-Brisbane, where the airline is set to double down from a daily A380 flight to double daily flights from October 1st, 2024. The Dubai-Nice route also saw the scrapping of the daily 777-300ER, with the A380 taking over from the end of March, as opposed to the original plans of June 1st. There have been questions on how these new developments by Emirates for the A380 position the airline against its regional rivals, specifically Etihad Airways and Qatar Airways. Will they launch new products on their super jumbos to compete with Emirates' premium economy, or will they follow other airlines in retiring them soon? That remains to be seen. There will be questions on sustainability, specifically how does Emirates plan to deal with the vast amounts of fabric waste from the aircraft during the retrofitting process. This is an important factor that must be looked into, considering that an A380's overhaul is expected to shed more than 550 pounds of seat leather and more than 1,300 pounds of other fabric. Well, Emirates already has an answer to this, and it is a creative one. Rather than discard the material, the airline decided to use it to make a limited edition collection of shoes, belts, and backpacks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.